get to say fuck and talk about my poor attempts at sex. It's great.
Yeah.
I know, surprise, surprise, I'm not sexy, guys. I know I look sexy, but in bedroom, I'm not. And the reason why I'm not sexy is because I came from a very, conservative household where everybody was telling me all the time that if I had sex, I would get pregnant and die. So, obviously I don't want to die. I didn't lose my virginity till I was 22 years old. You might want to wait on that. Because I made a lot of bad decisions. I had no prior dating experience. I did not know what a good quality was to look for in people. I lost my virginity to a guy on Halloween wearing ghost makeup. And, one thing that they should teach all young women, if you're going to have sex, you should probably suck his dick one time beforehand so you can see how big it is. I'm just saying, everyone talks about how sad the little dick life is. You don't know how hard it is to lose your virginity to a big dick. Okay? You're just seeing white. There's nothing great about that. You're like, I can do this. I'm not a bitch. I can do this. I can totally make it through the rest of this night. You're hobbling the next day. It's just not fun. So, anyways, I'm terrible at being a whore. Despite my dad constantly trying to out me as a whore to my mom, every time I came home from college, he's just asking me a lot of questions about things I clearly know nothing about. He's like, hey, so PCP's kind of crazy, huh? I was like, what? I don't even know what that is. And he was like, you better not. And he just walked away. And he just does this all the time. And even when I'm telling stories, he's paying attention to every single detail. So I was like, yeah, Dad, it was so funny. I was walking home from the dining hall, and I saw this girl. She was wearing glitter and a bra, and it looked like a walk of shame. And then in a classical dad fashion, he was like, how do you know what a walk of shame is? And I was like, I'm an adult. I've seen it. And he's like, I was born at night, not last night. Tanya, come get your daughter. Get her right now. She's doing things the Lord wouldn't approve of. What? I go to Bible study every week. Leave me alone. I don't know, man. They just don't believe me. I feel like it's not my fault that I'm just surrounded by sin every day. I can't help that. I don't just wake up and go, you know what? I think I will join that gang. That's clearly what my parents think is happening in college. They thought they sent me away. I was going to be all corrupted. And was I? Maybe a little bit, but not as much as they think. I don't know. But it's funny because, when you go to college, if you're you didn't feel like you got the experience you deserved in high school, college is the time for you to reinvent yourself. And I can see that happening with my brother. So my brother, he goes to Vanderbilt all the way up to Tennessee. He's very smart. But he was kind of picked on a little bit in high school because of how conservative our household is. So when he went to college, he just started telling people, he was like, yeah, I'm from the mean streets of Jacksonville, Florida. And I'm like, you just live on Kernan Boulevard, shut up. And if you know anything about that area, there's nothing there but Kohl's and Jollibees. It's not a gang-related area, okay? There's not gunshots coming out the windows as he likes to lie to his friends at school. My brother's just an interesting person, man. He's so different from me because whereas I was more I want to make friends, I want everyone to like me, he was like, fuck everybody, and I'm going to be the villain this season. But he's a really bad villain. He tries his best to be intimidating, but his voice, for a long time, up until last summer, sounded just like mine. He was like, yeah, I will beat you up, and people just shoved me into the locker. Shut up, nerd. But now his voice dropped, and he's taller than me, so fuck him. It's okay. My time to shine will come one day. One day, I'm going to have the voice. I'm going to sound like a grown woman. People will be afraid of me, and I'll probably have a big truck. I don't know. Isn't that the mark of being intimidating? When you're short, you gotta have big everything, so everybody's afraid of you. They're like, oh, this person might be crazy, might fly off the handle. Just kidding, I won't. I'm not scared. I'm the least intimidating person you'll ever meet. But thank you guys for listening.